Welcome back to Metal Heroes Review, episode 63. Yes, here reviewing episodes 9 through 12 of the series. These episodes are quite interesting. 9, it begins a plot thread of basically suspecting that Helen might be Helvina. Well, the main character, anyways. The viewers have known this since basically she first showed up. So, basically, also Helvina is sent out once again to kill Spielban, even actually wounding him before he crystallizes into basically his Spielban form. Excuse me. Interesting story for this one, and I think it's also one of the rare occasions they don't use an actual Megabot. This one, I don't think so. No. Let me check here because I think they may have just taken one. I think this one, yeah, this one they don't use a Megabot. No, they don't. Yeah, this actually is the first time since episode. In a way, first time since episode 4, even though the one that's popped up at the end of the episode, but first one since that one, they don't use it at all. Nope, not really. But it's a really cool episode. 10 is a weird one. It's like, okay, Deggerod basically he is persuaded by a beautiful woman to build a robot for her and use schematics. And he does so, no problem. And it is probably by far the first thing of course, this comes right after he built 2 more robots. And of course, it's like, how in the world we're going to make money? And of course, he keeps saying, we're in the red. He's like, nah, I can be poor if I want to. How you gonna pay your bills? How you gonna basically feed your sister, dude? Yeah. Also, it's been hinted at in the series that Mimi has got a thing for Joe. And of course, also Deggerod's got a thing for Diana, which no surprising, the actress at the time probably was a very lovely woman. So he built it, and of course, something suspicious about it. Of course, Spielban himself basically examines it. Nothing unusual here. It's like, but it's a good strange vibe here. He's very suspicious of this. And eventually, his suspicions will be true when it turns out the robot he was sent to build was in fact a mecha robot. Yep, and of course, it's destroyed. And what happened to the money that Deggerod was paid? Don't know. They don't mention it. They probably got all the red thanks to that basically payment. Yeah. Of course, I believe this one they were actually talking about building another bio life form, but it doesn't come to be, sadly. Yeah. And then moving on to episode number, at the end of 10, they debut Mecha Gunman, who wears basically just like a cowboy. And next episode opens up with basically you have Spielban already in his suit, riding his motorcycle, and then here's music and there's Gunfighter. They fight for a bit, and of course he gets shot in the shoulder. It's a very cool episode. I like the fact we actually get to have a robot who actually talks, which I thought that was really cool. The fact that also they have a kidnapping pop up in kids, because of course they do. But still, damn good episode. In the case of 12, 12 is an interesting one that I think I may have seen one of the writers of the show, because I think, because he reuses a similar plot idea for Kamen Rider Black. So there's this family who wins a free house and has all the conveniences of the 1980s style housing. And I see this because I've already seen Black. I'm like, yeah, he reuses for Black. Obviously, either he reuses his idea or has someone else use his idea for the show, because it is very similar to it. Because I remember in the show that they did this also, except that they didn't, basically, they get a safe full of money, they get a karaoke machine, and of course, it's like, oh yeah, let's make these people very lazy, except for the youngest son, who realizes something is wrong with the house. He noticed looking around the house is laughing. And of course, Joe looks around the house. He was asked by the kid. Of course, they're going to exactly believe him. And of course, basically, he thinks it's going to be a ghost or poltergeist. And of course, Joe, very curious about this, decides to investigate it because Joe is not stupid. Because the common thing is for adults is that sometimes they think that children are liars. Sometimes they can be, sometimes not. And he, of course, looks around, nothing wrong with the house, but he does feel strange energy, which, yeah, the kid was actually telling the truth. And of course, then later on, he decides to make eggs. All of a sudden, and they don't taste, and of course, he does a good job with it, and of course, kick out the house. Also, the dad just proceeds to quit his job over getting this house. After, like, I don't know, like a week or two, because I don't know how much time passes by, that half the money they were given is gone. Yeah, this is only like the second time in the series they open up basically the... Yeah, second time they open the safe up, and that's when you notice, like, oh, that's what's money left? Okay. And they're supposed to get the house for a whole year. And of course, the refrigerator is really weird. It's like, oh, it's got food in it. Okay. And then, like, that night, of course, Joe and watching house with Diana. And they took a roach catcher, something was introduced back in episode 1, thing that they claimed didn't work, and actually it does work. It just used it for spy purposes. And, well, the kid's basically calling for help. Of course, Spielban breaks in the house. And of course, basically, like, stuff is like, he examines all this stuff. And then the refrigerator with the, look like the microwave on top moves up. And then, of course, they take one of the speakers, the vacuum cleaner, like a cough maker, and then it just transforms into the mecha robot the episode. Oh, yeah, and also this one, also 10, they actually have where they battle, it's called Mecha Freezer, where it's like, they do this thing where there's occasionally where, like, oh crap, we can't battle in the city. Hit this dimensional slip so they can go someplace else. Which I'm sure the writer probably, like I mentioned before, the writer probably put that in there because that was a thing in the first 3 series. I think it may have been like that. In Jasmine, I did see a little bit in the Gavin versus Decker Ranger film, which is really good, by the way. Yeah, so he slips, and of course he does his whole turn the ship into a cannon, to basically a big bazooka that fires lasers. Not just another gun, turns into a cannon and basically destroys his transport ship, and destroys the monster of the episode. And then the family proceeds to go back to their apartment by the end of the episode. And I'm like, yeah, this is the same exact type of ending they had for the episode. Let me take a look here about that, because I know that basically he worked on Black as well. How will this seem briefly in the episode? I remember this episode was, I remember this thing being used in Black. I could have sworn that. Maybe he suggested to use the idea. It's possible, but I remember seeing that there. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking up here. He apparently did pretty much every episode of Spielban. And he did all but episode 27, 32, 38, 40, 41. And that was it. He did all but about 4 episodes. Not bad. The only one of the shows he worked on all the episodes was... What about Gavin? Gavin, he pretty much, in the way I'm looking at right now, he pretty much worked on all the episodes except for two. For Shivan, the sequel series. He wrote every episode for that one. I'm looking at right now. Let's see. He wrote all but 22, 23, 27, and that's it. Snyder was the only he worked on all the episodes for. This series so far, he's worked on all the episodes I reviewed so far. Yep. But the whole thing of Helen, that probably is lucid for probably something a little bit later. Yep. And with this, basically, we're halfway through the episode, so I'm going to do my own on my break. Because the plan is to stop at 24. I'll come back to 20 episodes. Not bad. 20 episodes is not bad. That won't take me particularly too long. Yeah. Of course, there's a new character introduced in the episode, which I'll get to that, who it is. But, yeah, good episodes. Okay, so that's pretty much a particular review. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and do the dislike button. I'm going to go, and I'll be back to talk about more Metal Heroes and probably my forum anime for today. Okay, next video. Bye.